Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Fantasy Football live stream. It's Thursday, and you know what that means. We're going to be talking about your start-sit questions, talking about waiver wire, trade, whatever you got, we want to talk about. So if you've got questions, we've got answers. Drop them below right there in the chat. Don't forget to like the stream because we like you, so you might as well like us too. That way, it's a big old like fest. Joining me today, Mr. Big Pot Energy himself, the prop prophet from Betting Pros, Andrew Erickson. Don't forget, everybody, he and I are doing shows over at Betting Pros now too. We've got an amazing group of shows and guests last week and this week also. Go subscribe to that channel also because we have got incredible content dropping every single day there at Betting Pros. We are winning stuff. Also, join the NFL contest over there because it's free and we're giving away free stuff. You like free stuff. Come on, don't pretend like you don't. Jackson Smith and Jigba jersey autographed for you. We're also giving away upgrades to Betting Pros, to Fantasy Pros. We're giving away swag, hats that say FP on them, or pants that say BP on them. Well, maybe not pants, but hoodies and hats and shirts, all for just picking games. So pick 5 games a week, 100 in the whole year, and you can win. So how you do this, you go to the community tab on Betting Pros app, you click it, you go join the NFL contest, or you just go to bettingpros.com/NFL contest, prop profit, which is hard to say. I still struggle with it. Prop profit.
Props with an S. Props.
Can it be props with a Z, like you're really cool from like the late 90s?
It's not. No? The Z thing's not cool anymore.
He's not cool. What about
the mid now? That's
what
mid.
About the E that's a 3 that I learned last year was a thing that you had to tell me about? This is a true story, by the way. Erickson had to tell me that the 3 was an E, right?
I don't remember that. That was me that told you that?
Yes, it was you who told me that. You told me these things. I mean, you're the gateway for me for the young people. You keep me young, Erickson.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, there you go. All right, let's get to your questions. Let's start with Long Delina. Family trade Connor for T. Higgins. If you can trade James Conner for T. Higgins, Delina, I want to throw a parade for you. I want to take you out for a nice steak dinner. I mean, that is an incredible trade. Erickson, that trade should never happen. Like, T. Higgins' value is so much greater than James Conner. You would agree, yes?
Yes, but I think that they're so Long Delina is specifying. They said family trade, so maybe they're concerned. Like, hey, I'm trading with my family. Is this fair?
Is that what it is?
Because it's not.
I thought he was calling us family because I look like
I
Vin
don't
Diesel.
know. I mean, I say family trade, and it's like if you're gonna do this to your family, just know that your family might hate you because you're walking out with the steal.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, and you might not be invited to Thanksgiving after that. So Erickson, you're invited to Thanksgiving at my house anytime. I'm making short ribs again this year because that went over very well. I don't make the turkey. It's gross. I don't want to put my hands up there and do all that stuff. It takes forever. Nobody really likes it anyway. Like, they like it, but it's
more tradition, I think, than anything else.
Like, I made a delicious short ribs with the wine and everything. It was great.
Food.
You like mashed potatoes, Erickson?
Yeah, the sides are very good. Sides are good.
I made mashed potatoes. I made some sides, some other things. Mom made macaroni and cheese. It's a good time.
Some sides, totals, maybe money line here or there.
Sides, totals, money lines. Travis Matthews, Purdy or Jackson?
Lamar Jackson?
I could only assume.
Have we already come to this?
I don't think it's Jermaine Jackson.
Starting Lamar Jackson. He's way more upside. Like, Brock Purdy's going to get you 16 points no matter what. Like, that's what he does every single week. So if that's going to make you happy, sure. But like, Lamar has a 30-point ceiling that's not in Purdy's range of outcomes. So I'm always going to start the guy with more upside.
Well, not only that, but also we've seen some games between the Bengals and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens where they've pushed that total sometimes. Like, some of those games have exploded. I remember one a couple years ago. I think it was Monday Night Football or Sunday night. It was one of the night games I remember where it just exploded between those two teams. It was fantastic to watch. Here's a question. What about Purdy and Geno Smith? I know we just talked about Geno on the Betting Pro show together, but I mean, I know last week wasn't good. If you have Purdy and Geno, who would you start this week?
Yeah, I mean, I think I really wanted to back Geno. It's like someone I really like, but it's like the tackle situation is very concerning, especially because the tackles played worse last year, and that's when we saw Geno's production kind of tail off a little bit. So, no, I think that, again, I would just go with the safe play with Purdy. Like, their implied team total is really, really high, 4th highest on the slate, where Seattle, like, it's down there, even against Detroit, who they lit up last year. But, again, the tackle thing is concerning. So, I wouldn't want to take the risk there. until we see it from Geno in 2023.
I'm not ready to give up on Geno yet, but I want to emphasize the yet. That's where the emphasis is. I would also start Purdy over Geno, but not over Lamar. Ashley Gomez is back. The best quarterback to roster, I guess, or the rest of season. Who's the best quarterback in fantasy rest of season? It's not looking like Josh Allen right now. I had Hurts number one going into the year, along with Mahomes kind of 1 and 1A. Again, it's let me rephrase. I actually had Mahomes first and then Hurts second, but they were very close because of that rushing equity of Hurts. Do you put anybody else in that category right now that can get up to that number one spot besides those guys?
I mean, I think it's still Lamar for me. Like, I get that there could take some time for this offense to start cooking, but Zay Flowers is advertised. And remember, they didn't have Mark Andrews. Like, we're seeing what happens when the quarterbacks take away their number one weapons. What do you know? They're worse. Like, that's just going to happen. So, with Mark Andrews back and healthy, I mean, this Ravens defense is not great. So, if we're going to see more shootouts with Lamar Jackson, I mean, Lamar was still running around. So, like, that's not going away in this new offense, which was some concerns. Like, if they're going to be throwing the ball all over the yard, what's going to happen to the run game? All the running backs are hurt. Again, J.K. Dobbins is hurt. Are we really going to run it back with, well, it's going to be the Gus Edwards? We do this every single year. It's like, what Ravens running back do I want to roster now? It's like, none of them. Like, we do Dobbins, who gets hurt every year. We have to pick up a backup, and they're all terrible. So I think Lamar still has a long shot chance of being that guy, if it's not Hurts or Mahomes, just based on what they have at their disposal.
Shout out to us, by the way, because we did a good job of fading J.K. Dobbins as the August training camp went on. Because I know you and I both thought, hey, this is a good situation for Dobbins. This is a good value in terms of draft. And then as the offseason got weird with him with injuries and the contract stuff, I know you and I pulled way back on Dobbins in rankings, and we talked about it on the show often, where we said, you know what, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go pivot to other running backs instead. It just doesn't feel right. Something feels off there. And it's really unfortunate that it came to such a horrible end so quickly for him. But I mean, this is why you got to be careful of some of those running backs who don't have track record. And look, he's probably played his last game for the Ravens too. I think Gus Edwards is rosterable. I think Gus Edwards is going to get the run so far, but I don't think he's their long-term solution. MAK, Pittman or Puka? Now, Puka was brilliant. He was Puka Cup last week. But again, tougher assignment this week against the San Francisco 49ers. So how do you feel about Puka or Pittman this week in week 2?
So Pittman is interesting, but he didn't get any targets in the first half. like that's concerning for me. Like, they went an entire half of the game and he never got the ball, whereas Puka was seeing targets throughout. So I always like to ride the hot hand. I think that even though Pittman's coming off a pretty good game as well, look, Anthony Richardson's his quarterback. Like, that's going to create way more volatility on a week-to-week basis versus Matthew Stafford, who we know can support fantasy weapons. Like, when he's healthy, he does it. He did it with quarterback. He did it with the Lions. He did it with the Rams. Like, he's done it with everybody. Even all the ups and downs of his offensive line or what other situations he's in, he's always supported guys. And I think that Tutu Atwell is probably the guy I'd be more bearish of expecting duplicate production, because his role is a little bit more gadgety, whereas Puka's like, he's running the normal routes. Like, he's more in that Cooper Kupp role. So I would probably just keep rolling with Puka Nacua until the wheels fall off.
There you go. Andrew Erickson is drinking the Puka juice. Hey, question, by the way. The Rams, do they have like the greatest 3 wide receiver names ever? Right? You got Van, Puka, and Tutu. Like, that's pretty good. That's a fun grouping of names in a club. I'm just saying. It's fun.
They just gotta add John Brown.
It's just a really boring ass name, right? Yeah. I mean, Cooper Kupp is also a cool name, but seriously, there's some cool names in that group. Tate Bryant, are we going to see a bounce back from Tyler Lockett? More Geno Smith conversation. Look, I want to give Geno Smith a little bit more time, but the Tyler Lockett situation now, I mean, I think this is like we do this every week. You know, it's the same thing. Debro always loves to point out. If it's man coverage, then it's a DK day. If it's zone coverage, then it's a Tyler Lockett day. But now the new wrinkle is JSN. So how does that wrinkle rub you when it comes to Tyler Lockett?
I mean, it's still a good matchup against the Detroit Lions. They really still don't have any corners that can really cover any of these receivers. So again, I have question marks about Geno, but the receivers I still think get it done. Again, another bad week though from Lockett, and you may not just be able to blame Geno. Or if Lockett has a bad game and Geno is still good, that would be a big red flag for me, because he's an older receiver. Like, he's starting to get up there in age, and if maybe that's going to contribute to some of his decline in production. We did also see him get banged up a little bit in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he's kind of in that wide receiver 3 territory, but he's far from must start territory.
Okay, before we move on to the next question, too, if you've got a lot of questions about your lineup that we don't get to, if you're watching this back on our YouTube channel, this is why you use the My Playbook features, right? So download My Playbook and use My Playbook because it's got tools to help you figure out who to start. It's got tools to help you who to pick up on waiver wires. It'll look for trades and actually give you projected trades in your league with other teams that would help you that you can then throw out there. So the draft software is only part of the equation here. I know a lot of people use our draft software, but My Playbook, it's free. Download it, sync all of your leagues. At the very least, use the feature where you could set all your lineups from all these different sites that you have fantasy teams in one spot. That is a time saver. That is incredible. So download My Playbook. And of course, if you go premium, you get the bigger options. More stuff is available to you, but just the free one. Try it out. See how you like it. Tell them Uncle Joe sent you. All right, let's get to the next one here. Let's go to Sam's question. Sam Bartu, Dameon Pierce or Addison in the flex. Now, you got to make this decision soon because Jordan Addison plays tonight. Dameon Pierce has an interesting matchup, though, I think, this week. What do you think about this one, Pierce or Addison?
If you want floor, I think it's floor ceiling play. Like, I just don't think Pierce has a super high ceiling, but he's a running back. So I think naturally he has a higher floor because he has a more guaranteed workload where Addison, like really any receiver outside the top 15 is like touchdown, long pass. Great. You started him. No touchdown, no long pass. Oh, great. He's a bust. Like that's kind of what you're looking at. So I like the Vikings passing game tonight. James Bradbury's not playing, but it's like Addison caught the touchdown last week. Does he catch a touchdown this week?
Well, I think he's a little touchdown dependent, to be honest. I really
yeah.
do. To me,
So,
how you attack this Philadelphia team is over the middle because the linebacker core is what's weak. The secondary is very good. Up front is terrifying.
Hockenson week.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is Hockenson.
Yeah.
And you know what? It would not shock me if KJ Osborne over the middle, some of that stuff too, because Slay really did do a number on Justin Jefferson last time they all locked up. Let's go to Jennifer Hafner's question. It's great to see Jennifer back. Hi, Jen. How are you? I love our OGs when they show up here on the show in the live stream. She says, hey, guys, should I flex Puka, James Cook, or Godwin? Those are some good options to have. So Puka, Cook, or Godwin, who do you want to start?
Did she say the format? Is it PPR?
She did not. So let's call it half so nobody's happy.
Man. The Bears are horrible.
Most people play in PPRs nowadays, I think, most of the time.
Yeah. Man, that one's tough.
I would go with James Cook. Here's why. Because I think that's a score that could ironically go back and forth a little bit. And I think that James Cook, I think the balance of the offense for the Buffalo Bills is crucial to getting Josh Allen back on track. And Josh Allen has struggled against the Jets, not just last week, but also last year. Like the Jets beat up Josh Allen last year. So that was not shocking to me what happened. The turnovers are a problem. He's got to figure that out. And the first step to doing that is balancing the offense and getting James Cook the football.
I think I agree with Cook. I think when you look at, okay, so Puka is playing the 49ers. So that is a tougher matchup than he had last week. Godwin is facing the Bears, a good matchup, but Baker Mayfield's his quarterback. So like, okay, there's more outs where you can see those other guys failing where it's like James Cook, like he's playing the Raiders. And we saw Javonte Williams and Samaje Perine like combine for something like 10 targets last week against the Raiders, like because they're playing that cover 2 shell. So Josh Allen's going to have to check the ball down. Like he's just going to have to do it. And it's going to be James Cook who got 6 targets on Monday Night Football. So I agree. Joe, you've convinced me. James Cook is the play.
Well, I just think you get the locked in touches. There's upside. He could do a lot more. He's not facing the Jets this week, which is a very good defense. I don't think the Raiders defense is very good. They get to the quarterback. That's a good thing, which is going to be a problem. Again, Josh Allen needs to watch it because, when you got Max Crosby on one side and Wilson on the other, you got to worry about the pass rush there. And the last thing you want is that pass rush making more problems for Josh Allen where he's rushing footballs and rushing decisions. Dump the ball off to James Cook, get those guys running a little bit, wear them out a little bit, then let Josh Allen cook from the pocket. There you go. Let's go to Jay Howell, Dallas Goedert or Hunter Henry.
I'm going back to DJ.
Go back to DJ.
Yeah, this 0 target catch is never going to happen again.
All right, let's go to, Charlie Garcia. Actually, no, let's go to Marvin, then we'll get to Charlie. Marvin McCory, flex start Addison or Allgeier. I would play Allgeier here because of the volatility of Addison. That one scares me a little bit. And look, I still say this Allgeier thing is only going to last the month of September. So, we'll be singing that famous Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Do you remember? Do you remember that time in September when Tyler Allgeier was useful? It's not going to be that in October. Bijan takes over. But I go Allgeier for now. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, both guys are touchdown, but it's like
they're both touchdown dependent, but one's getting carries.
Yeah, right. Ride the way with Allgeier.
Just more opportunity almost to score that touchdown.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's how I look at it. It's like Addison could be great. He could get 2 touchdowns tonight. That line could also be 1 catch for 8 yards. Like,
and again, he's still also playing behind Osborne. And you made the point that the weakness of the Eagles is definitely not the perimeter, and it's over the middle.
No, the perimeter is good. All right, let's go to now we'll get to Charlie Garcia. Thanks for waiting, Charlie. What running back can I get for Michael Pittman Jr.? Erickson, I want you to go look in that big brain of yours, and I want you to search your running back Rolodex, look at your rankings. Who would be a good return on investment RB here when you're looking at who to get? By the way, I saw some news just breaking. Aaron Jones, again, did not practice today. That's 2 in a row if you're keeping score at home. Somebody in my flex league, Andrew, dropped A.J. Dillon, and guess who's got 2,000 to pick him up? This guy. Jake Seeley texted me. He's like, who dropped him in your league? I was like, I don't know, but I picked him up as soon as I saw him on waivers during the waiver transaction report. So, I know he looked like crap last week, but still, I don't care.
A guy rushes 13 times for 19 yards, and he just gets dropped.
In an expert league, I guess, they had real people problems where they had to, like, drop other guys. But
man.
Pittman, what's the running back equivalent where you think that's fair? What about Madison? Is that a guy? Is that a name?
I mean, I think that range is appropriate. I personally don't like Madison, and so far I feel pretty good about that after week 1.
What about Cam Akers after this week? Because this is going to be another bad week for Akers against the 49ers.
I want no part of this Rams back. I'm done. I'm done. Hands off. Like he's going to change it every single week, and we're always going to be wrong. So
I don't think you can get Breece Hall for him. I don't think that's happening.
It depends. I mean, I think it's worth sniffing just because we don't know. Everyone is gauging this Zach Wilson thing differently. Like, I mean, I've seen Garrett Wilson go through like I saw someone trade Tyler Allgeier for Garrett Wilson. Like, it's like. It's like that guy, yes, it's really hard to gauge his value because it's all about how that owner feels about Garrett Wilson attached to Zach Wilson.
One. You ready? Javonte Williams for Pittman.
I think if you need a running back, that's probably appropriate.
That's the guy, Charlie. RK, Elijah Moore or Puka in a standard league.
Standard. Okay, so you need really it's all about touchdown. So I mean, I probably do Elijah Moore.
Oh, really? Why? See, I'm looking at the target volume of Puka, and I'm just saying I'm going to throw my darts at Puka even if it's a tougher matchup. That's really interesting because me, I'm the Elijah Moore guy.
Well, the Steelers secondary got destroyed against Brock Purdy, and Elijah Moore led the team. Elijah Moore led the team in Patrick Peterson can't play. Like he's cooked.
But he couldn't play last year. Why is this a revelation to everybody?
Well, the Steelers signed him and they're starting him, so. We take advantage.
I don't understand this. Like, it happens all the time with these corners too. Like, they're just like the wide receivers. They hit an age, and it just goes like this.
Xavier Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes is another
when
one.
All the everything with the roads were more than open.
Even Darrelle Revis hit that stage in his career where it just was like they had that one more year with the Patriots where he hung on for dear life, and they used him in very specific situations to utilize the best of him. And then after that, it was a cliff. It was terrible after that. All right. You know who wasn't terrible last week? Tyreek Hill. He was pretty good. If you listened to the DFS show last week, you had Tua and Tyreek stacked everywhere because that was basically the Lockett up of the week. But look what we've got for you. We've got a Tyreek Hill autographed teal gorgeous jersey from the man himself, number 10. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel here, Fantasy Pros. You got to drop a comment below. A question, a compliment, maybe a recommendation for a recipe or a restaurant to go to. I don't care what it is. Just drop the comment below, like the stream, and just like that, you can win that Tyreek Hill jersey. But don't forget to click that little bell till it goes ding so you know if you're the big winner. So subscribe to the channel, drop the comment, click the bell. That's all you got to do. Andrew Erickson is now hydrated so we can get back to the show. Let's go to Christian Samalenko. Should I start Puka? Everything's going to be about Puka Nacua. I can tell it already all week. I spent $80 on Puka Nacua. Should I start him this week? What should I do, Erickson? All right. Puka, Evans, or Allgeier, full PPR, go.
Puka.
Let's go. Chris Maldonado. By the way, I saw Puka in a league go for $79. That was the biggest one. Somebody texted me in
out
their
of
league.
100?
Out of 100. No, out of 1,000.
I don't know. I mean, some of these fab things are weird with the
I'm
amount that
talking
you
about it
spend
because
on.
they spent 7% of their budget. That's why I thought it was a lot.
I mean, what did I spend? I got him for 16 in a $50 budget. So
16.
yeah, so 32%.
That's about right. He was crazy. Derek
I
Brown
got
didn't get him in our flex league. He's very upset about it. I bid behind
exactly.
Derek, but Derek got outbid.
Well, someone forgot to take their bid. They bid $25 half on Kenneth Gainwell. Even though he's not playing. So I'm assuming they put the bid in before the news came out that he wasn't.
I told everybody last week, don't drop Rashad Penny yet, because I still think at the end of the day, Erickson, Rashad Penny's the best guy in that backfield. I know that's a hot take for a lot of people.
I think the best guy is whoever is not
last week, right? He's floating around. I would add him right now.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance that by the time we get to week 4, that Rashad Penny kind of looks like the Miles Sanders version of, and he's the best pure running back, I think, of the 3 of them. And I don't want to talk about Boston Scott because you're going to make me depressed if you talk about Boston Scott anymore. Kristen Maldonado. Let's go to Chris wants to know Madison or Pacheco.
I still like Pacheco more.
I
just don't like Madison. This matchup, Jalen Carter is going to wreak havoc against this Vikings offensive line.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. Jalen Carter's a good player. Mike Chuddy, he was my pick, by the way, for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Get on that. Go bet that. Go do it right now if you can. Mike Chuddy, Allgeier or Debo in the flex? Yikes.
Debo.
Is this what Mike, have we got? I'm not going to bro you, Mike.
Debo was fine last week. He just didn't catch the touchdown, but he got targeted. He was playing.
I think, John, our producer, John, I think we need to come up with an animated figure of me broing people. That you just got broed. I think that might be worth investing in. I know we're all tired and everybody's working so hard here, Fantasy Pros in the season, but if not this season, maybe next year we need to get a bro graphic of some kind. And it's got to be a cartoon of me just looking angrily at people. But this is close. Yeah, definitely need some audio, maybe a theme music. It's got to be something there where you just got broed, like you just got served. Gary W., who better, Boston Scott or Chuba Hubbard?
Hubbard. Hubbard has a standing role in his offense. I don't know what. Scott, you're just praying for a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm with Hubbard too. Easy, Gary. All right, I am Josh Douglas. Waller or Watson Doubs in the flex? Half PPR.
I'm playing. Look, if you have Waller, you cannot bench him until his hamstring explodes. You drafted him. I'm playing that guy until he can't move. Sorry. You gotta this is part of the game, right? We talk about this. If this guy's healthy, you have to play him. I'm sorry.
Note to self: don't drink while he's making comments about Darren Waller. Again, too, let's not forget how bad the Arizona Cardinals are against tight ends, too, right? If memory serves. So.
Oh yeah, I mean he should have a field day.
I guess it's Waller, but I don't know. I like Christian Watson more than any of those guys.
I mean, I don't think Watson's going to play.
I don't think he's either.
He hasn't practiced. Yeah, but he hasn't practiced. So.
This might be one of the quickest turnarounds for a feel-good story for Green Bay ever this week. It could really, went from, hey, we beat the Bears, Jordan Love, woohoo, everything's going great. And then the next week it's like, oh no Aaron Jones, no Christian Watson, no Doubs, next thing you know, getting beat by the Falcons. Tyler, AJ Dillon or Romeo Doubs in the flex? This is too early, Tyler, to answer this. If Jones is out, I think it's Dillon. If Jones is playing, I think it's Doubs. Would you agree, Erickson?
Yeah. I mean, Doubs caught 2 touchdowns, full-time player, no Watson. I mean, I'm more confident Watson's not going to play than Jones, so yeah.
All right. Let's go to Dave McDonald. He had a farm. Got offered JSN for Tony. Half PPR. I mean, why are you still watching the show? Accept that immediately. Dude. That, listen, I never want you to stop watching the show, but at least pause it and accept that. Or you can multitask. Now you can watch the YouTube on your device the same time. So, but Dave, whoever got drunk and offered you this trade last night, you just accept this bad boy. Because I understand, would it shock you if they went back to Tony again? It wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Look,
if I were them,
he's gonna be. He literally can't be worse than he was on Thursday. It's literally impossible.
That's a very dangerous thought process.
Right.
Because
I'd rather have JSN anyway. Yeah. JSN's a better prospect, first round pick. Easy.
He's not playing with the better quarterback. That's the.
Right.
I feel like people are having FOMO. See, I use the word that the kids use. See,
Mm-hmm.
I represent the youth culture of America. Do you see the FOMO, though, of like, oh, no, I had Kadarius Toney. I drafted him. He was so bad. And then I sat him and he went and had 2 touchdowns and 2 explosive plays. Because that's in the range of outcomes. Like, that's not impossible.
Yeah, and that's why you wait till he has that big game and then you trade him. Like,
yeah, but look, if you're getting JSN, you just trade him without the big game. That's great. Christian Arubura, Dalvin Cook, or Kyren Williams full PPR?
I'm going Dalvin Cook.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to have to use every running back. They're going to have to bring back LaDainian Tomlinson. They're going to bring back Freeman McNeil, the Jets. They're going to bring back every running back they have to support Zach Wilson. It's not going to be pretty. There's a scenario, too, that next week the Cowboys play the Cardinals. So they play the Jets this week. They might not give up an offensive touchdown the first 3 weeks of the season. I'm just saying it's not impossible when you look at the schedule and the way it's lined up. It's scary. Shelton Mayfield, AJ Dillon, or Puka? I'm going Puka. How about you?
Yep, Puka.
What about if Jones is out and the whole thing goes to Dillon? Then what?
I mean, if Aaron Jones is out, AJ Dillon's top 10 running back. Like
top 10?
Who else is gonna?
I don't know. I just wasn't ready for you to say top 10. That was very exciting. He's
a big running back. He's gonna see north of 20 carries. He's involved in the passing game. Yeah, that's the makings of a top 10 running back.
Kyle Kaiser starting Allgeier, Garrett Wilson, or Breece Hall in a PPR flex.
Who is the other? Allgeier, Hall, and the other guy?
Allgeier, Hall, and Garrett Wilson. That other guy. I'd start Hall and hope for the best.
I mean, could you say the thing about Garrett Wilson? I mean, do you like Hall that much more than Garrett Wilson in the same situation?
I will rephrase. I hate Zach Wilson enough to fade him, to fade Garrett Wilson every chance I can, especially if Stephon Gilmore.
I mean, I think you do not want to have 2 Jets. You got to trade one of those guys. Like, I'm sorry. I think
2 Jets is too many.
Yeah,
2 Jets is too many
right
now.
Many. You got to trade one of them.
Agreed. 4 a.m. creations, Christian Kirk or Zay Jones. Now, this is interesting because Christian Kirk was not on the field as much last week. That was surprising, but could be a different game script against the Kansas City Chiefs this week. So what do you think?
I mean, I'm going Zay Jones. Like, he's been the wide receiver 2 in this offense since the beginning of the preseason. Like, like, that's not going to change. Like, he's the number guy. He's the guy they have in 2 wide receiver sets. So when they're doing 12 personnel, Kirk's off the field and Zay Jones is not. And Zay Jones, I think, is underrated. Made a great one-handed catch, touchdown in the back of the end zone. Like, he's the wide receiver. He's in the Christian Kirk role last year. So that's how you need to view them. So I think that you are getting ahead of the change in the hierarchy of Jaguars receivers by saying, no, like, Zay Jones is next behind Calvin Ridley. It's him, not Kirk.
Where did you finish your rankings with Calvin Ridley for preseason? How high up did he go?
I don't remember. I think 16 or something.
I think I had him at 13. And I think that's looking pretty good right now. It's only week 2. But man, oh man, do I like what I saw out of Calvin Ridley last week. Like, he looked great. Taz Siebert, start Puka for Terry McLaurin, full PPR.
Yeah, I'd start Puka. I don't want McLaurin.
Yeah, I don't want McLaurin for a couple weeks. I think he's a fascinating buy low October 1st when that toe really starts to heal. And hopefully it does. But it's gonna be tough sledding and Sam Howell. And Puka's got Stafford, as Erickson so astutely said before. Lawrence Jacobo. Aaron Jones might be injured. Should I start Swift? Taylor, yes. DeAndre, no. Your thoughts, Erickson?
So is he starting Swift for?
It's either start Swift now, I feel like, or wait for Aaron Jones. So you might have to start Swift now, which is not good. Like, I don't like this option at all.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real. That's what we do here on the
I
show.
Would wait. I would just wait. I'd leave your options open. If Swift was a can't miss, then okay, sure, but it's not like that at all. I would wait and try to make other plans later on. JH
has a question. Should I start Isaiah Likely? It seems like Andrews is trending in the right direction, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends if Andrews plays or not. But honestly, I think that there are some better tight ends even if Andrews
Musgrave is interesting. Ferguson, I think, is interesting. Like, I still think there's a lot of. I think it's gonna be one of those years where everybody like complains about tight end. Oh, tight end is so bad, and then we all look up and go, "Oh, look, it wasn't so bad after all." This feels like a year where a lot of guys are gonna pop. A lot of youth. I think Sam Laporte is another guy too to really keep an eye on. Mm-hmm. I was blown away by how they used him in that first game. If that is like the baseline, I think we could see a very good season from him as a rookie, which is I don't think a lot of people really had locked up. Let's go to David Ferraccioli. Ferraccioli, huh? Hey, Erickson, you ever have a Ferraccioli?
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I bet. All right, let's go to Swift, Zach Moss, or Dalvin Cook. Boy, David's got problems here.
Zach Moss, like, is he healthy? Like, do we know that? I mean,
Dalvin Cook's the way I'd go with this one.
yeah. I mean, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust any Colts running back, not named Anthony Richardson.
I don't trust Swift either, guys. I know everybody wants to make DeAndre Swift a thing, and look, he might have a good game tonight. The Vikings defense has all kinds of problems, but I would still go with Cook.
So just quickly on Swift. So if
what?
No, I'm just trying to the best way to phrase
I'll tell you
this.
what. You think about it. In the meantime, I'm going to remind everybody while Erickson gets his thoughts together and collects himself to join our NFL contest at bettingpros.com. Bettingpros.com/NFL contest, giving away autographed jerseys, upgrades. We're giving away Fantasy Pros, Betting Pros swag. All you have to do is click the community tab on the Betting Pros app, join the contest, or go to bettingpros.com/NFL contest. Make 5 picks a week. That's it. 100 for the year, and you qualify to win weekly prizes, monthly prizes, or the big prize, the JSN autographed jersey. All right, Erickson, I bought you some time because I'm a professional broadcaster. Now, what do you want to say, my friend?
All right. So in week 1, if Kenneth Gainwell had been a scratch, how would you have felt about Swift in that case versus how it was Rashad Penny that was the scratch instead of...
I'm going to keep it real. I'm the king of keeping it real. I've said it twice, so now when I say it twice, the crown goes on. I'm the king of keeping it real. I still think Rashad Penny's the guy that I want in that backfield long term. I was very surprised that he was a healthy scratch week 1. I thought it was kind of weird. It felt to me like they were trying to go with Gainwell, but maybe there was something else going on health-wise that he wasn't prepared for. And sure enough, now Gainwell's not healthy. So like they tried this workload with Gainwell, and maybe they knew in the back of their heads, okay, let's see how this goes. But if it doesn't go well, we need to put Rashad Penny in a bubble wrap. Because Rashad Penny, look, if you look at the data on Rashad Penny's playing. He's good. Yeah. And they're going to put him on the Eagles offensive line. I'm sorry. DeAndre Swift, I am over. You want to talk about guys that you're over with? I'm over DeAndre Swift. Maybe he has a good game tonight. I don't know. Penny's the guy that I think I want, but I am very afraid. I'm looking for a lot of other options than DeAndre Swift to start tonight.
Okay. All right. Fair.
That's just my take. But you don't have to be, yeah, that'll be your take. Here's one from Marinda. Marinda wants to know Pitts or Musgrave at tight end. Mm-hmm. It's sad that
I'll start Pitts, so.
I will too. But it's getting close.
He at least got targets last week, so.
By the way, I got to talk to on stages yesterday. Andrew Erickson Truther showed up in stages, so I got to finally meet him. Have you met him? Nice fella.
I've seen his name, float around on certain
he's
things.
Always around watching the shows. Last year was his first year playing fantasy, and he won both his leagues. So this year
he must have not drafted Cortland Sutton then.
I guess he didn't listen to you, so he wasn't a complete truther. But he did say he's in a 32 team league, and he showed me the roster. I was like, "Why did you do this to yourself?" I said, "Are there copies of players?" He said, "No." I said, "This is a terrible idea. This is no fun. Never do this again to yourself." I don't know. It's like people play 2 tight ends or stupid stuff like that. Tristan Kirk, who's the better start, Tyler Allgeier or Cordero Patterson? Also, Hopkins or Nico Collins? I think you have to start Hopkins again. Like, I know it was gross, but I think you also have to start Allgeier over Patterson. That's where I'm going. You agree?
Yep. All right. I agree.
Carmingos, pick 2. Full PPR, Brees at Dallas, Jamal versus Carolina, Montgomery versus Seattle, Allgeier at Green Bay. You got to start Montgomery, I think, right?
Against Seattle. And then probably,
that's a lock.
Yeah, and then Jamal for me.
Jamal, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably it's playing your best percentage. I think Montgomery is a smash play this week, by the way. I love him in DFS this week. He is so cheap everywhere. Patrick Yale, who ironically went to Harvard. So weird. PPR, Christian Kirk or Kendrick Bourne. Oh, the Kendrick Bourne. God. I love when Kendrick Bourne has a good game, and then for the next 3 weeks, people try to start him. What do you think? Man, I did read today that Juju's gotten brought down in the offense. I don't know what that means.
Well, I mean, he played less snaps than Kayshon Boutte. Like, Kayshon Boutte played more than Juju did.
Can we get that shirt, John? Can we get a Kayshon? Can we get the Erickson Loves Booty shirt, please?
Dude, if he had only kept his feet in bounds, I would love him more.
Shirt. I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to somewhere and have a shirt made up for you to wear on the show that says Erickson Loves Booty.
I mean, I'm probably going to start Christian Kirk still, but I mean, if Parker doesn't play, I mean, I think you
have to start Kirk one more week. But I understand the question. You don't get broke,
if Parker doesn't play, like, I mean, why would Bourne fail against the Dolphins, who just got annihilated.
It's Kendrick Bourne. Well, I can't. I know maybe I'm wrong, but I think I give Kirk one more week. I think give him one more week.
Sure.
Lawrence Jacobo, Dalton Kincaid, or Tyler Higbee?
Probably go with Higbee.
All right. Be cool. PPR flex, Javonte, Swift, or Kelly? I assume Josh, not Machine Gun.
I'm probably doing Javonte.
Ryan Shiflett, Puka, more. Doesn't say which more. Now, look, this is a problem, Ryan. This is a public service announcement for you.
It's Puka.
Everybody watching. There's a lot of mores. There's DJ Moore. There's Elijah Moore. There's Mark.
Sky Moore.
Sky Moore.
Everyone hates him now, though. So
good. Give him to me. I'm not done yet. Maybe by week 5 I'll be done, but I'm not done yet. Puka over DJ Moore.
No, not over DJ Moore, but every other Moore.
If this Moore is DJ, then no. But over other Moores, okay. KM, who should I start? Javonte Williams or Swift? I'm starting Williams. Not even doing this. Cole Korfhaj. Should I start Puka, Jeudy, or Pickens? That's an interesting one.
Is Jeudy playing? Like, is he
that's
healthy?
The thing. Even if he does play, like, what's
I would start Puka. You got Judy's got
almost go to Puka.
Puka.
That's what they say in New England.
Puka.
Right?
Puka
Nacua. The Dunkin' Donuts. You got the Puka Nacua. You're gonna get in your car and get a Puka. You're gonna get yourself a latte. There, Erickson. Larry Bergen. Would you trade Garrett Wilson and Cortland Sutton for Zay Flowers and Rashad White? I think I do.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I want Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers. Okay. Who finishes higher in fantasy points this year? Zay Flowers or Garrett Wilson? Go.
God. Who has more points right now?
Oh, but that's neither here nor there. I'm giving a whole season now. Fine, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson.
Flowers.
That's right. That's the right answer. All the Zay Flowers. There you go. All right, let's go to the next one. King J86, half point PPR. Dotson, Zay Jones, or Rashid Shaheed?
Dotson for me.
Dotson better have a big game because I'm going to get real pissed if he doesn't 2 weeks in a row. Gary W, Boston Scott, or Michael Gallup in the full point PPR?
Gallup. Brandon Cooks is...
Yeah, Cooks is not healthy. Yeah,
he's not... I mean, it's the Jets. It's horrible. I mean, Boston Scott is literally just a touchdown play. Like, that's all you're hoping. And I feel like that's not good strategy.
It's not good strategy. It's not good
standard.
Fantasy.
Like, that would be the only way. So, yeah, Gallup. Cooks is banged up. The matchup is horrible against the Jets, but I think I'll just more opportunities.
Christopher E, 2 quarterback PPR. Which 2 QBs? Hurts, Dak, or Love? Well, Hurts, obviously. So it's Dak or Love. I'll play Dak against the Jets or Love against the Falcons.
I think, man, I hate the Dallas Jets game for points. Like, are they going to
I'll tell you this. Here's my take on it, and then you can see if you disagree. I think you play Dak, and here's why. Because I think as good as that Jets defense is, the same thing that happened to them last year at times, which is they're taxed and on the field too much because they can't move the chains, because they keep turning the ball over in bad spots, and they have short fields. I think it takes its toll on them. So I'm going to go with Dak, as impressive as Love is and was. And look, if Dak doesn't play well, okay, I'm going to go with Dak and Hurts. I'm still draft capital for September as much as I possibly can.
I agree with you. I mean, Dallas is going to win, and so they're going to have to score points somehow, and Dak's probably going to be part of the reason that they score points. So whereas Love might not have
Gilmore pick, running it back to the 10, Dak Prescott touchdown to
a lot of
Lamb.
Love's production came from Aaron Jones. And if Aaron Jones is 100%, then where's Jordan Love's production? It's also not the Bears. So, yeah, I think Dak's the right pick.
They love Matty V, Dameon Pierce, or Zay Flowers in the flex. I'm playing Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
All the Flowers. D does dance. Traded Justin Jefferson and Bijan Robinson for Chase, Pollard, and DJ Moore. Good or bad? See, you're supposed to ask these questions before you make trades. I'm not saying bad because Chase and Jefferson are close and Bijan and Pollard are close. And you got DJ Moore. So I guess if your roster was kind of barren besides Bijan and Jefferson, I'd rather have Jefferson and Bijan personally. But what do you think here, Erickson? It's not bad.
I guess like if you needed another starter to get DJ Moore,
right? Like it feels like that's it's like my team wasn't good. I needed a little more help, so I just downgraded by 1 to add in DJ Moore. Like that's
but I mean, like Pollard was really. I mean, Chase just had a bad game. Like I mean, still,
Chase
think Chase can be wide receiver 1, and Pollard was really good week 1. So And again, we talked about the schedule for the Cowboys. Like, who do you think's going to be scoring a ton of points? Tony Pollard against these horrible teams.
True that, bro. All right, let's go to the next one here. What do we have? We've got start the Jets defense or the Browns defense. I start the Browns defense.
They're good defense, and it's a good matchup.
Yep. Let's go to Boogie 34. Start 2 half PPR. Pacheco, Nico, Flowers, Nacua. It's Flowers and Nacua for me.
Agreed.
Daryl Hodgkins, 3 wide receiver league. Addison, Michael Thomas, or Kirk. Pick one.
Michael Thomas is probably the one I feel the best about.
Can we get that on a clip for social media?
He's healthy right now.
He's healthy right now. Can we also get that on a clip for social media? Martin Rodriguez, Alexander Madison, or Joshua Kelly?
Madison. I don't know what Kelly's role is going to be.
What's the latest on Eckler, too? I've been doing shows all day. I've not
He hasn't practiced today, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Not good.
But
not
it
good.
is that they are playing the Titans, who are like just a juggernaut run. I mean, their defensive line is just so good. So I think it just might be throwing the ball to Keenan Allen 15 times.
Crook asked a question. Start 2, bench 1. So who's the odd man out? Full PPR. Rushy, Rice, Amari Cooper, Garrett Wilson.
I'm now look, bench Rice.
I love Rice, but you can't start Rice over Wilson or Cooper yet. Like
Rice isn't a full-time player yet in his offense.
Right. You can't do that. Luis Paulo Cavaza. By the way, if the Jets go and beat the Cowboys, they're going to build a statue of Zach Wilson in front of MetLife Stadium.
They're going to cover, though. They're going to cover.
I don't think so.
Plus 9.5. Let's go.
I've watched enough Zach Wilson to learn that
is true. Yeah, and if you watch him, you watch him cover all those games last year.
I want to watch him play this Cowboys defense. This Cowboys defense with Gilmore on the corner and Diggs. Gilmore and Diggs and Michael Parsons is a lot. Especially that offensive line is trash. Like, you and I might be starting quarterback next week for the Jets. They got to keep that guy upright. Louise wants to know London, JSN, or Montgomery. Interesting. London's a tough one right now. Real quick, Erickson, what do you do with Drake London? You just got to hold tight, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting him on my bench because, again, it's like he's a very game script. Like, he has to be in a game where the Falcons have to throw, and against the Packers, who they're now favored at home against, like, Packers down a bunch of weapons. Like, this game isn't going to be exciting. Like, the total is at 40-39. Like, going down, this isn't an exciting game, so it's not conducive for Drake London to score fantasy points. So keep him on your bench. And honestly, if you don't want to deal with the headache, it's one of these receivers where after he has a spike week, people saying, "Oh, he's back. You sell, and you just buy. I don't need this Arthur Smith stuff in my life. And you just move on.
I don't need this Arthur Smith stuff in my life. I like that. That's good. All right, let's continue on here. By the way, everybody, if you're watching the show, don't forget we're giving away a Tyreek Hill autographed jersey. All you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop a comment below. That's it. That's all you have to do. Look at it. Autographed, gorgeous, fantastic. 200 yards, hot off the presses, Tyreek Hill. Don't forget to click that bell for notifications too, so you know every time a piece of content drops. And if you are the big winner, so like the stream, subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, the fastest growing YouTube channel in the history of the universe. I don't know if I've got the data to back that up, but it feels true. So I'm just going to say it. Let's continue on here. Gary, who's screaming help. Flex, who? Moss, Allgeier, or Kelly if Eckler's out?
Allgeier.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. Am I disturbing you on this live stream? Is we past the Erickson nappy time? Is that what's going on? Getting sleepy time?
It's been a long week. Allgeier.
Sleepy time for Andrew?
No.
Been a long week. John Lopez, Rashad White, or James Cook full PPR?
I'm going to go with Rashad White.
I'm going to go with James Cook. Sorry, John. Wish we could have helped you there. Matt Blues, Gino or Love?
Gino.
One more time. Let's see how it goes. Chuck C, 2 quarterback league, Mostert for Daniel Jones. Now, why would you go trading Mostert for Daniel Jones?
It's like a 2 quarterback league.
Yeah, I'm saying if you can get I'm saying is who would trade you Daniel Jones in a 2 quarterback league for Raheem Mostert?
I don't know, but Chuck C, you should do this trade.
Yeah, Chuck. But if you proposed it to me, I would come to your house and I'd slap you around because it's a terrible idea. Like, that's insulting. It's not enough. Raheem Mostert's not enough for Daniel Jones. I don't care how bad he was last week. That's a stupid trade. That's insulting. Don't send those trades. Send something that you would consider if you were the person for Daniel Jones. Come on. Be better, Chuck. I love you. All right. I'll see you at Thanksgiving. Aaron, should I trade Michael Thomas for Mike Evans?
Yeah, I'd rather have Mike Evans.
I agree. Scott McDuffie, Deshaun Watson, or Brock Purdy?
Watson.
King Lose 562 full PPR, London or Elijah Moore?
Elijah Moore.
Robbie Thomas, 18. Christian Watson, Puka, Scary Terry, Addison, half PPR. Well, Puka's the healthiest one.
Puka.
Ryan Shiflett. Well, you already did Ryan's question. Let's get somebody else here. All the $4. 2-quarterback league. I have Goff starting. Who is better this week, Mac Jones or Kirk Cousins against the Eagles?
Well, considering Kirk Cousins is better than Mac Jones, and Mac Jones just threw 303 against the Eagles defense, I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins.
Emmanuel Pagani dropped Kareem Hunt for A-Chain on the waiver wire. I think you do that.
Oh, is Kareem Hunt on a team? Like, did
No.
I miss something? So yeah,
No.
Raheem Mostert's already hurt. Let's go.
Well,
A-Chain.
but this is what happens. How many times yesterday did you hear people? I guarantee you were saying, or even on Monday, say, they're going to go sign Kareem Hunt. Like, if people wanted to sign Kareem Hunt, they would have signed him already. Yeah. They didn't want to sign Kareem Hunt.
I'm not sure what Kareem Hunt's agent is doing.
I don't know either, but this is what happens. Like, I'm surprised Zeke got a job, to be honest with you. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's just a thing to understand. All right, let's go to the next question here. Matt Ellis, PPR flex, Pittman, Zay Flowers, Puka, or Brees. Need 2 of them. Pittman, Flowers, Nacua, and Brees Hall. It's a good problem to have.
Flowers and Nacua.
Flowers and Nacua. Eduardo Martinez, Josh Kelly, or Rashid Shaheed in the flex?
I would see Kelly's the floor play, and then Rashid Shaheed if you want upside.
Well, look, it's a no-brainer. If Eckler's out, then it's Kelly. I think you got to play Kelly then in that circumstance. All right, let's go to the next one here. Dominic Gazzetti, my boy Dom, Fantasy Pro, and Joe. Hey, hey, you guys. Half PPR, drop Gibson for Elijah Moore. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I think you do that. Zervos or Zerovis. Sorry, Zerovis. That's a tricky name. I don't see that one every day. Zerovis, Rashad White, or James Cook. I'm going to say Cook. He's going to say Rashad White.
Yep. I mean, look, if you can't start Rashad White against the Bears, then you can't start him against anybody. That's what I mean. I think this is like the prove it game for White. Like, if he can't get it done against the Bears, then it's like it's time to wave the white flag. He's not the guy. But if you can't start him against the Bears,
spoiler, he's not the guy.
Hey, week one was tough, but we'll bounce back.
You looked great last year. Sean Donahue, someone offered me Chase and Dallas defense for CMC. Am I crazy for rejecting it?
I mean, I'd rather have Chase, and I mean, look, I get the DST thing, but it's still a DST. Like,
so in a vacuum, would you rather have Chase or CMC rest of the season?
Chase.
I would too. So I don't think you're crazy for rejecting it.
Oh.
But Chase and the number
unless
one.
Unless you're like 0-1 and your DST scoring is like crazy, and it's like they're literally going to win you weeks.
That's also something to consider. Scoring does matter.
Yeah.
And let me be frank here, everybody, while I'm still being Joe at the same time. I had the Dallas Cowboys defense ranked number 1 in Fantasy Pros. Erickson knows I've been yapping on about it for weeks and weeks before drafts. This is not like all of a sudden because they, won 40-0 that I'm so, over the moon about it. This was always the case. Like, they might be one of these defenses that we've seen in the past that gets you to championships. It might be like that, especially if things continue to go on. And they get the Giants again. Don't forget later on here. Let's get to Sean Donahue. Someone off. Oh, we did that one. Sorry, Sean. Let's go to Devil Boy King. Who better rest of season, Zay Jones or your boy Cortland Sutton?
Ooh, that is a good question. I'm going Zay Jones.
Okay. Scuba 243. Cousins or Purdy? Second quarterback.
Cousins.
Herbert's the one. All right. Daniel Ferrer trading Amon-Ra St. Brown and Mike Williams for Stevenson and T. Higgins. Good trade.
I do think it's a good trade. I just would not trade the Sun God. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but how else are you going to get Higgins and Stevenson? It is a good trade. It's a good trade.
Yeah.
Especially if you have other wide receivers and look, Mike Williams is a liability, but if you are dying at running back, then Stevenson's a good get, especially this week too. I think Erickson and I are both fans of him this week. Brendan Rush, full PPR, Najee Harris or Brian Robinson. I'm still starting Harris.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to jump ship on Najee Harris after one game against the freaking 49ers. Can we please pause on that?
Oh, my God.
For the love of God, can we please pause on that? Matt Crico, Puka, or Garrett Wilson, full PPR. Who do I start?
If I picked up Puka, I'm going to start him. So Puka for me.
Demetrius Bones, flex Puka, Addison, or Debo, half PPR.
Debo.
I thought you were going to say that. Jay, Puka, or Zay Jones?
Puka.
Kinky Tasm, happy Thursday, pros. Good to see Kinky back in the chat. Half PPR, Rashad White or Miles Sanders?
White.
Have AJ Dillon too. If let's say Aaron Jones is out.
If Aaron Jones out. AJ Dillon's a must start. Top 10
running back. You heard
back.
it there. Erickson said it. There you go.
Why is that a hot
guy.
take?
There you go.
Why is
This
that like
guy.
so like he's
That
had
guy said it.
monster games?
This guy right there. This guy. That guy. Robert Lavelle. I don't know. I just like pulling your chain. It's fun. Also, P.S. Baby is 9 months old now. Oh, remember, Kinky Tasm is the one that went into labor live on the live stream last year. That's right. Kinky, congrats. That's great news. Now, this is dedication of fantasy. So all you people who think that you're like, you're something here, you're like hardcore fantasy football. Kinky went into labor and was sitting there waiting to have a baby and trying to ask start sit questions, setting her lineup. Okay. All right. That's dedication, folks. There you go. Crazy fantasy mom indeed. You're the best, King. All right. Robert Lavelle. Who would you start in PPR? Dameon Pierce or Puka Nacua?
Puka.
Oh, and then a kicker question. You want to take a kicker question? Do you want to?
No.
No, I don't either. I love you, Robert, but I'm not taking
I don't even know what teams those guys are on. Will Lutz?
Greg
DeLay.
And you call yourself a fantasy professional. I gotta say, I think I'm only in 2 leagues this year that have a kicker in it. 2?
I'm in a bunch and I hate it. But that's where I'm at.
C. Holmes. If Jones is healthy, I still don't trust Stevanich. Stanovich? Huh? Should I start Cook, Montgomery, or Puka over him?
You like Montgomery? I mean, Montgomery's fine. I think that he's good.
I think Montgomery's in a great situation. So, yeah, I'd say Montgomery. Andrew Yotuma. Ayuk, Gibbs, or James Cook, half PPR? Ayuk, by the way, man, if there's one guy that I wish I had more shares of, and I tried at the end, and I got sniped in 2 leagues. He went right before me twice, is Ayuk. Like, I'm so mad. So now I got to play him in DFS every week. Susan's up next. Flex, Mike Evans or Chris Godwin?
Godwin.
You got to trade one of these guys, Susan. You can't have two.
Yeah, when you have these bad offenses, like you got to pick one guy. Like
Susan, you got to trade one of these guys. You cannot win a fantasy championship with multiple Bucks wide receivers. It's never going to happen. You can't do it. And I'm not making a joke.
Multiple Jets players.
Multiple Jets, 2 Jets, it's too many. And then multiple Bucks. You can't do this, Susan. Susan, make a move. Chris Ivy. Should I start Garrett Wilson or Rashid? And that's when you know. And now it's time for my nap. Rashid Shaheed or Wilson. I think you start Wilson or Bourne. They've also got Kendrick Bourne. Chris,
I'm okay. That's too far for me. I'm going still Garrett Wilson.
Robbie Thomas, Christian Watson, Puka, Scare. Oh, we already did that one. Let's do Matt Blues, Gino or Love.
Gino.
Paul, Joshua Kelly for a 4th round pick.
And like this is like dynasty, like
either dynasty or it's a keeper redraft thing. I mean, either way, yes.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Do we really think that Joshua Kelly's going to get handed the backfield next year for the Los Angeles Chargers? Come on, bro. No.
Yeah.
You probably wait until Eckler's out for a longer period of time, and then you get a 2nd round pick. That's what I would do. All right, Drake London or Addison for Richie Silver, our boy Richie.
Addison.
All right, let's skip down here. Let's get some more. Tiffany Fuller's question: Love or Carr?
Carr.
All right, let's go to Big Smoke. Choose 2: Puka, Flowers, DK, Dotson.
DK.
I want Flowers and DK.
Yeah.
Also, quarterback. Well, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. It doesn't matter. You play your best players. That's the other thing. All this stuff too, where people look at it like, well, this player I'm playing is also connected.
God, I hate
Don't do that. It's about your lineup. I was talking to somebody on Sunday, asking me questions about, I'm going to sit. I have the Jets defense or something and Josh Allen and Rodgers. I'm going to play Rodgers over Allen. I said, don't.
Yeah. I was like, what? Like,
you know what I'm talking about? And I was like, don't do this. Like, this is a terrible idea. And I know Josh Allen didn't have a good game, but he
had a better game than Rodgers did.
Well, he had a game. Rodgers had a few snaps. It's still surreal. Has it sunk in? Has it sunk in for you?
I don't care. I mean, I was really I was kind of like Aaron Rodgers agnostic.
What kind of parent are you
season. I bet the Jets under. I
great
feel great
comes
about
home from school and is like, Daddy, look what I drew. You're like,
bet the Jets under 9.5, and I feel great.
Daddy, look what I colored. Whatever. Go get me a beer. It's so salty, Erickson. You better. Hey, look, you're getting married next June. You're gonna have to start working on these things. You got to care about a lot more stuff.
I know.
Just saying. A lot more things you have to start
caring
about. Even if you don't, I'm just saying. All right, let's take 1 or 2 more, and then we'll close things out here. Let's go to Andrew. Half PPR. Who to start in the flex? Ayuk, Gibbs, or James Cook? Wow, That's a good problem to have.
Ayuk.
I agree. but this is a great problem
Stay
to
in
have.
the
You've done it.
Flames.
Andrew, this might be a 10-team league. I don't care. Still, that's great because he's also got A.J. Brown in there. Matt Martino, Puka Nacua, or Christian Kirk?
Puka.
Higbee or Laporta? I'm going Laporta from B Dollar.
I like Higbee.
I like Laporta.
I mean, they're all like honestly, like so many of these tight ends are exactly the same. It's just like pick your flavor.
I'm feeling the Laporta.
If you're feeling Laporta,
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Do it.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. I can't wait to come there next week and see what happens.
Drinking the Kool-Aid, drinking the Puka juice.
The Puka juice. I'm gonna have Puka juice on Monday for the Waiver Wire show. No matter what happens on Sunday, I'm gonna make up
whatever happens to Puka.
And I'm gonna drink it live on the YouTube show. So make sure you're there. I'm working on the artwork right now.
A pan shot of Puka on the side, like drinking something. It's like, oh my god, there it is. The Puka
I don't know if we could use that, but we could try. I mean, he's gonna be drinking. He's gonna be hydrating throughout the game.
Better be hydrated, or else he's gonna cramp up. It's not good.
You don't want to cramp up. You never want to cramp up there. All right, let's end things with Noah here. Noah, what would you do with DeAndre Hopkins? Well, first of all, I wouldn't have drafted him because I kept screaming, "Don't draft this guy." But now that we've drafted him, now he's playing with Ryan Tannehill. It can only get worse if Tannehill gets hurt. Let's not pretend like it can get better. I'd be trying to sell him off. If he has a good game this week or a better game, I'm selling him off. Because I'm telling you right now, Noah, the future is not bright for Hopkins of the Tennessee Titans. Like, it's just not. It's not a good offense. Your thoughts, Erickson?
Yeah, I think I would try to trade him for like DJ Moore.
That's a great trade.
I would make the bet.
I love that trade.
He's like Hopkins is gonna have like the steady targets, which people like, but I think he's way more upside long term if they can get this thing figured out. He's coming off a bad week, and I think he's a good matchup this week. So I straight up DJ Moore, just kind of wipe your hands clean of Hopkins.
Well, we're gonna wipe our hands clean of the live stream right now. I want to thank John, our producer, for running the show today. I want to thank all of you for joining us as well. Don't forget, join the NFL contest over at Betting Pros. Go get that Tyreek Hill jersey. Subscribe. Like the stream. If you've been watching, like the stream. It's very important. We appreciate you liking the stream. Erickson's going to give you faces and whatever the heck he's doing there. But again, we love hanging out and talking football with y'all. Join us again every Tuesday, every Thursday, live right here on our channel to get your questions answered, or go to our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. It's a great way to get them. Or you could just follow us on the social media, on X or whatever the heck it is today. I don't know. It's the artist formerly known as Twitter. You can follow us all there too. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For John and Andrew, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.